Okay, so we're going to start from Vihine Haramaz. We're trying to explain the two different over here. Start Vihine Haramaz. We're trying to explain the different levels. What happens? Shabbos Shabbosun He and Shabbos Shabbosun Hu, which means that we either get to the higher level, to the level of the Char, which means a higher level within the Hamshacha that we're Mamshech and Yom Kippur, or we get a lower level from the Hamshacha. But it's not, so he went through various different ways how to explain this according to the Kabbalah, different madregas. He's going to continue this next piece also to further explain what exactly is the Hamshacha when we say that it comes even from higher than Atik, and what is the Hamshacha that it comes from Atik. So he says like this: Hine Haramaz Pidish Reish Parshas Tzav, in the beginning of the portion of Tzav, the Ramaz explains Gabei. I'm not sure exactly what the Rosh Tevis is, whether it's Talmid Chacham or whatever the Ramaz. I didn't look in there, but the main thing is what he says is like this: Hi Oila Seliku. This goes up. It's talking about the Sfiras Hamalchus goes up. Ukishiru, the Knesset Yisrael Le'ela, and ties the Knesset Yisrael above. In other words, when the elevation, we learned before that when Malchus goes up, also the entire Knesset Yisrael goes up, which is tied to the Sfiras Hamalchus. V'isnahir kula merozo de kodesh hakadoshim, and they're all illuminated and shine from the secret of the kodesh hakadoshim. So basically, they go up till the level, and they get the oil from the level of kodesh hakadoshim. What is kodesh hakadoshim? So he says the kodesh hakadoshim ain't tlas reishim. Those are the three heads. The three top. Now, as we'll see soon, there is one top, which is called the head one. It's Reisha Ilah. That's the top. There's a top which is called the Reisha de Lo Yisyado. In Kabbalah and Hasidus, we bring it down. It's Radlo, Reisha de Lo Yisyado. That's the Reisha Ilah, the higher level of the Reish. And then you have Kodshim, Kodesh HaKadoshim. Kadoshim is plural. We'll see who's going to explain. This is all under Ramastis. And two other Kochim, which are other Roshim. One more inner than the other one. Bottom line is that over here, we're saying in this interpretation, the way that Ramaz brings down, what is the Kodesh HaKadoshim? That the Kodesh HaKadoshim is the level of Roshim, or Reisha de Lo Yisyada, the highest level. So the Alter Rebbe, as he asked before, wants to know, so what is going to be even the higher level than that? You know, it seems like this is already, Reisha de Lo Yisyada is the highest level that we know. Then we're saying that there's Amshach even from a higher level. Let's see. Okay. And in that case, according to the Bchinas Radlo, that the level of Radlo, which you just said, is the Reisha de Lo Yisyada. That's the highest of these three Roshim that mentions in Amaz. What is Radlo? Shehu Atik. So Radlo, we know, is Atik. Bchinas Kodesh HaKadoshim. So that's the level of Kodesh HaKadoshim in which the Kohen enters on Yom Kippur, which means goes up till the level to Atik, which is level Reisha Radlo. In Cain, Tzorich Lahavin. So then we need to understand Mahu Inyan Bechina HaBechinas Shalamayla Mizah. So what is higher than that? If that is that, what is the level that is higher than that? Shalzeh Omru Razal, he quoted before that the Pasuk says Yochel Kamoini, that the Yidden's Kedusha can reach the level of Hashem. So you say Kedushosi Lamaila Migdushaschem. No, you can't reach that level. So there is but it's not talking about the Ein Sof itself, Atzmus itself, because there would be no question even Kamoini. What would there be even a question that he argued before, the Alter Rebbe? Same thing he's saying is now. Now that we're saying that the highest, that level of Kodesh HaKadoshim is the level of Radlo, that's the three Roshim, as explained in the Ramaz, and that's the level of Radlo. So what could there be a higher level in which we say, Yochol Kamoini, Talmud Loimar Kedushos L'Mayim L'Shaschem, and that level of Kamoin L'Mayim L'Shaschem is not Ein Sof itself, as he explains. The Avshar Loimar, the Koi Alatzmus Ein Sof Mamish, Shalamayim B'chinas Atik, we cannot possibly say that that level, which is even higher than Radlo, than the Kodesh HaKadoshim, that is talking about the essence of the Ein Sof, which is higher than Atik. Be'etz Chaim Sharmem Aleph Peri Gimel. Be'etz Chaim Sharmem Peri says the B'chinas Atik, that the level of Atik is Hu HaB'china Tachtoino Shebematzah. Atik is the lower level of the Maitzel. Within the Maitzel, that's the lower level. And then we have the upper level of Maitzel. Hashem himself, Kilu Neimer Derech Moshul. So the level of Atik is the Malchus of the Malchus Ein Sof. And what is the higher level? The higher level is the Malchus Ein Sof. So he says, the Zei Efsher. That's not possible to say that is what we're talking about. Why? You can't say that the higher level is Hashem himself, is the Atzmus himself, because it has to be something lower than Atzmus, because if it was Atzmus, it would not even be a possibility of a question, Yochel Kameini. It would be like Hashem, like Atzmus. It's not even a question. Kikvar Nizbayr, because we already explained. Masha Omru Yochel Kameini, when it says Yochel Kameini, so it does not mean to say Kameini like the Atzmus of Ein Sof. How could it even enter your mind to say that we're talking about Atzmus? But what he's talking about, what he wants to say is talking about a level which is dressed in Atzilus. Atik means removed from Atzilus, but there is not. We're not talking about the Ein Sof itself now. So it has to be a level which is Shayich and connected to Atzilus. This is the Atik of Atzilus, but not the Atzmus Ein Sof itself. But according to the Ramaz interpretation, the Kodesh HaKadoshim him class Reishin, the Kodesh HaKadoshim are of the three heads, Shemiklolom Radlo, and part of them is the Radlo, which is the Reisha, the Lois Yado, that is not known, which is the highest level. So Tzorich Lahovin, so we need to understand Mahu Inyan HaBechinas Shalomaylo. What is the level that is above, that is higher than Mahu? What is the level that is even higher than the Radlo, that is Yochel Kamoin, and it can't be the Atzmus itself. I mean, this is a whole discussion back and forth according to the Kabbalah. The various different madregas over there. Alter Rebbe explains over here exactly to know the address, where everything fits in, based upon according to the Kabbalah. Al derech mashekosu bebiur hoidra zutra la Rav Chaim Vital. Based as explained in the Idra Zutra Chaim Tav Daf Reish Peches Amud Aleph the Pirush mashekosu Shom Amud Beis, and what it says over there in the Amud Beis, Hay Atika Ishtakach Begimul Roshim. Says over there, Atika is found in these three heads. That means that it comes through that. So he says over there. So in the Idra Sutra, it says Atika comes down the Gimel Roshim, and the Biur by Rabbi Chaim Wolosow on the Idra Sutra, he explains what ishtakach means. Pirush ishtakach. Ishtakach means nimtzo, umisalim, umisgale begimul roshim. Nimtzo means it's found, and then it's obscured, it's hidden, and is revealed in these three heads. That is the Gimel Roshim explained in the Rabbi Chaim Wolosow what the Zohar means. Nimtzo. So it turns out, says the Iker Atika hu ha'ein sof. The main part of Atik is Ein Sof. Omnam al Shem his almus begimul Roshim, but because it is obscured through the three Roshim, the different ways. So Nikra Gimul Roshim Kamkin Atika Kadisha Ad Kalashema. So the reason they're called Atika Kadisha is because the obscurity that comes down through the Gimul Roshim is, we call them also Atika Kadisha. So basically what he's saying over here, Akan Lashena. So basically what the Rabbi Chaim Wolosow is saying over here is that Atik itself is higher than the three Roshim, even though before we said Radlo, this is the highest level of Atik. So now that we read in the Rabbi Chaim Wolosow, we see what he says. He's basically saying that the Ein Sof itself is Atik, but that comes down to Atik. And this thing that it has the Gimel Roshim, that's only because it's this Alam, it dresses up in them. Atkan L'Shem. Nimtzo, so therefore it turns out. Also, this upper level of head, the higher of the three Roshim, which is called the Nikra Radlo, which is called the Reisha D'Leis Yada, B'Kodesh HaKadoshim. Einoi Elo Shaboy Melubash Ein Sof Mamesh HaNikra Tikadisha. He is only, but he is not Atik himself. The Ein Sof Mamesh, which is called Atik Kadisha, dresses up in the Radlo, as Rabbi Chaim Wolosow said before. Zehu Inyan Abchinas Kedushosi Shelamayla Mikdushaschem. The level, the Ein Sof, which is Atika Kadisha, that's the high Kedosh L'Mayla Mikdushaschem. And the level of Radlo is already a lower level. And therefore, that is what we call Atik Radlo. Reisha D'Leis Yada, even the highest of them. But yet, that's not fully Atik. Atik itself is Ein Sof, and that's the level which we say Yochel Kamer. The Ayin B'Pirush has Sifra D'Tznius L'Arizal. In the Sefer of Sifra D'Tznius L'Arizal, the Perek Kama, of Kuf Yutes with Alf Shekosav, the Zel Shena. This is what he writes. The Hu Reisha, the Lav Reisha, that is the head, but it's not the top. Asher Shom Chevyin Ois Ha'atzmus, that the hidden, the power of the essence, who Atzmai Eine Masik Mashiyesh Boy, which means he himself doesn't know that which he has. He doesn't realize the level. So when we say Reisha, that is not the Reisha the Loyis Yada, that it doesn't know means that there is hidden over there, he doesn't know what he has. V'zehu pirush de lo yoda. That means Reisha de lo yoda, v'lo yisyada, Reisha lo yisyada, ma dehavi b'reisha do. They don't realize what in this head. And that's kiviyachol ka'odom she'ena masim husan neshama she'boyad kan she'nes. Similar to a person who would not grasp the essence of the soul in him, so he has it, but he doesn't grab what it is. Okay, so basically, he showed that even the Reisha de lo Yisyada contains Ein Sof, but it doesn't chap what the Ein Sof is. Because a Yuval betoisus biur inyan Shabbos Shabbosin he, the Shabbos Shabbosin who. So from all this we understand with more explanation the two ideas of Shabbos Shabbosin he and Shabbos Shabbosin who. The Pir Shabbos Shabbosin he. Hainu kisham shocham mikodesh hakadoshim. When it's the level of he is when this kadosh ubchinas tlas reishin. When we have the three reishin, so that's within Atik. The three reishin, reishin lo yisyada, what's dressed up But the Gam Gil Horas Ein Sof Ayidei Tra Las Reishanal, and also in addition, you get through this three ration, you get the Ein Sof, because Kimoyal Derech Moshel Be'odam, just like we say by the person. Av Shein Masik Mus Ba'atzmus HaNeshama Sheboy Mahu. Even though you don't realize what the neshama is, as brought down before from the Sifra Tznuos from the Rizal, Imkol Ze Ha'oras Koiches HaNeshamas Mizgalis Be'arosh Shu HaSeichel V'Riyo Shmiya Chulu. And yet the shine, the powers of the neshama, they reveal themselves in the head, which is the Seichel, the Riyah, and the Shmiya. So in other words, in the Reisha, Lois Yada is hidden. We don't know what the neshama is, and that we get the Giluyim. So the same thing, we don't know the Ein Sof, but that comes along with the Rashim. So therefore, the Kodesh HaKadoshim is who you get the level that's dressed up the Ein Sof. So that's only actually when you don't get, that's Shabbos Shabbos and He. So I take that back, Shabbos Shabbos and He. So it is there, but it's not Mizgala. They don't know. So there's a Giluyim from the Roshim, but they're not the essence. Shabbos Shabbos and who Hainuk Shenim Shar Gilu Atzmus Oirin Sof Mamish. That is when it's not hidden. You do know. It's not like the Sifra Tznuos said in the Russian, they don't know. That's when it's known, because there's a revelation of the Atzmus Ein Sof Mamish Hamelubesh Beradlo Chulu. Zehu Inyan Kashemen HaToiv Chulu, and that's we said for Kashemen HaToiv HaYored. That's the Shemen Toiv. That's the highest level, the Ein Sof, the Atik itself, which also HaToiv Kilechol Rachamecha Chulu. Good with those Racham Don Chulu, which is of the highest of the levels. So basically, this is another interpretation or an inner, which is the level of Shabbos Shabbos and Hu, which gets the Ein Sof itself in Atik, but they're all Atik, and the level of Shabbos Shabbos and He, which only brings down the Roshim, hidden in it is the Ein Sof.